Here is a simple thought experiment. Imagine the person who you deeply care about, the person you share many great and exciting moments with, the person you trust. Now imagine that somehow, at some point in time, you both face inescapable danger. You have the means to save that person, but that would mean you would die instead. The clock is ticking and you have mere seconds to make a choice. What would you do? Now, what does this have to do with Cave Story? It's just a video game, a simple platformer where you jump and shoot at things. A game would never present you with such hard, true-to-life emotional choices and situations. It's just entertainment, nothing more. Also, I thought when I first started the game. The first scene was intriguing. The main menu was unique, and what immediately caught my attention was the music. It was captivating and mischievous. It sounded like a start of a great adventure. The beginning sequence of Cave Story caught me off guard, though it was apparently quite normal for the games of that time and for modern games as well. There is no explanation, no tutorial, no introduction of the character, and no context. You just wake up in a dark cave with a save point, a door, and something resembling a heart container. The game never explains anything. You slowly learn how to walk and jump, you get the feel for controls. You understand, through trial and error, that your health is way too low and the small spikes kill you in one hit. The enemies appear, but you don't have anything to defend yourself with. You're like a newborn separated from your mother, with nothing to guide you but your instincts. It's a brutal beginning for a platformer that features bright character designs and a title with the word story. I didn't feel any significant reasoning behind this section when I first played the game. After 80 hours spent, I decided to find its soundtrack, and I learned the name of this first composition, Gestation. Now, without going too deep into biology, this is a period between conception and childbirth, and it's incredibly fitting. You are literally helpless in the first few sequences of the game. Your first weapon is a pea shooter you steal from a sleeping gunsmith, and the architecture of the level with lots of water and awkward ledges makes it so very hard to proceed. And there's also a door. The only door in the game that, well, you'll know it when you see it. It's the final checkpoint. The game asks you if you understand what you're getting yourself into. And then follows the metaphorical fall. It's really hard for me at this point not to associate the first cave with the womb. But let's not stray too far from the topic at hand. The story begins very innocently. The music is soothing and you feel yourself at home. And even remarks about death, abduction and evil entities are made nonchalantly, and the feeling of danger fades in this happy and upbeat melody. The first in-game boss can be skipped too. It literally gives you a choice, thus breaking all canons and catching us off guard. And it's a very nice touch that makes the evil character feel that much more alive. The game continues throwing you into different locations and slowly unraveling its story. It keeps a positive attitude, but those gruesome, dreadful remarks grow more intense with every scene, with every silent moment in an eerie building with a bed covered in red flower petals. You're still quite ignorant of the situation though, as you have many more problems to solve. Finding terminals, gathering ingredients for bombs, searching for lost puppies, all those things a typical hero tends to do in a video game. You grow stronger and more confident with every item and weapon you get. You get used to the enemy patterns and you have a clear goal in mind. You have to defeat the evil and disrupt their plan. It's what heroes do in a story. You enter yet another arena, preparing yourself for yet another boss battle. But what you're fighting is in fact the person you perceived as a friend of sorts, the first character who showed you a bit of compassion in this world, albeit with a little personal story. But what choice do you have? The winning screen is silent. Did you even win? Or was it your first real defeat? Suddenly, you're met with the concept of death in its more realistic, more philosophical term. It's that moment you lose something. Forever. What if you're just another killer robot, whose only choice is to use guns to bring death and destruction? The game throws you into a pit of despair, metaphorically and literally. There's a bunch of androids trying to escape from this place, but the terminal that opens the door is out of reach, and they've already lost hope trying to get up there. Now, you're still the main driving force of the game that is set on saving everyone. But once you open the door and get out, you see those same robots laying scrambled on the ground, killed by the region's dwellers. You suddenly feel ill. You are not the center of the universe anymore. But maybe, just maybe, it's a mistake, and you still have time to make it work. You venture forth trying to redeem yourself. You help your friend, you defeat those who try to stop you. You finally escape, but death is still following your footsteps, and everything you touch withers. Maybe you are harboring of despair, but you just arrive at the wrong places at the wrong time. People keep leaving you behind, giving you their most prized possessions, but you still have challenges to overcome, and you are quite used to getting things from dead characters in video games, mainly from your enemies, but sometimes from your friends too. Used enough not to take it seriously. Yet. The scene changes. You're staring at the screen helplessly. You can't do anything. You've just beaten another boss, but what for? The door is stuck, the room is filled with water, and you can't breathe. Now, this would probably mean some sort of Deus Ex Machina appears and saves the day. You're our main hero, goddammit, you can't just die and leave all of this behind. You are what drives the story. And something does happen. You can breathe, but you pay a price. And then, the door closes behind you with a thud. I've never felt so powerless in my life before this moment. I felt like a traitor. I couldn't save anyone, even those I cared about the most. I had all the power in the world to defeat giant killer machines, but I could not save a single soul. Now this is a moment where your despair and grief transform into something else. Hatred and rage, then burning desire to finish your mission. Failing would mean betraying everyone. It would mean you're just a machine, without emotions, without goals. You would be lifeless and worthless. That next level meets you with beautiful music. It's a bittersweet requiem, and it makes you think about your choices. It makes you question everything. You let the water take you far away, feeling intangible sadness fill your soul, as your rage changes into something else. Determination. You're almost prepared for the silence of what has been your home for this last 3 hours. You embrace the sudden change to one's upbeat and happy place. You move further with one goal in mind, and as you are offered an easy way out, you're laughing bitterly. Not a chance. I am seeing this through. The area before the final game sequence is similar in a way. It doesn't fuel your rage. It calms your mind, making you focused. You know what's coming, and you're ready for your destiny. No matter how many tries it takes, no matter how hard the road might be, you have to stop the evil. And as everything falls down, you still have hope. But what if it didn't end there? What if you could change it all? Get to the source and end it once and for all? It's now a question of cowardice and bravery, of perseverance and will. You are given a chance, a single shining star at the end of a giant dark tunnel that seems to get borderline unfair. Getting there is a giant riddle, a path of constant failures and misunderstandings. The familiar sections of the game get even harder, as though trying to break you. And then you arrive in hell. It's a place that laughs at your weakness. It gives you no easy ways out, no room for tricks. But even now, you are not forced to do anything. You can leave it all behind and escape at any time. Or finish what you've started. The game makes a statement. If you are true to your ideals and your way, if you are set on overcoming any difficulties, no matter how hard they could be, you can change any fate. You can battle any evil, even the strongest one, born from the deepest pits of human hatred and jealousy. It's all in your hands. It may take many tries, many futile attempts, but you will be triumphant at the end. And this is the moment I fell in love with Cave Story.